And I remember when we were young, we were going to visit my uncle or whatever. We have that prep talk before we got in the house.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
Don't take the cookies.
don't behave
only
like savages. Like you eat
cookie,
one, that's it. You
this,
stop.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for being here. This is another episode of Another Day in Paradise. And today we decided to, Reda, sorry, thank you for being here and all that jazz.
Thanks for having us.
Like I said, always, because we hang out a little bit before, so I don't feel like, oh, I need to say hi, etc., because we did that half an hour ago. But
it's part of the etiquette.
It's part of the etiquette, exactly, which is a very good move there. Which is which is the theme of today. We will talk about etiquette and how to approach social life. And let's see, are the mic too loud? Yeah, a little bit. Okay, that sounds good.
I think it's a bit low.
Okay, shut up. Okay, all right, let's because I'm not sure which one.
Okay,
I don't know if I look like I know what I'm doing, but I have no idea what I'm doing. But anyway, so I will suggest some situations and you tell me how you approach it. But here is the thing. Mm-hmm. We don't care what people think about us. Let's go all out.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
yeah, 100%.
Because this might be controversial at points, at times, but we'll see.
Okay.
Let's talk about money first.
Ooh.
Money, right away.
All right. Let's do this.
Should men always pay on a first date?
Yes.
That's such a kiss-ass move. Okay, sure. Why?
I think that, well, usually, if we follow the norms, like in general, I can't hear myself at all.
Okay, all right. How about that?
Yeah, this is perfect. Usually, the guy asks out the girl for on the date. Usually, so
True.
It's only fair that he pays for the first date.
So, if you say let's go grab a bite, then you're paying, or does it work just for girls or for dates?
No, if it's a date. I'm not talking to you about like, oh, we're working. Are you hungry? Let's go grab a bite. And even then, if your intention is to, like, it's a good move at the end of the day. It's a good investment.
Oh, investment. Not sure that's the word I would have used.
You said go all out. I don't know.
No, but here's the thing. For me, the first dates, to be honest, like money should be invisible and all that jazz. We talked about it before. On the first date, I also like to pay, but I don't think... I think it should be, how do I say it in a nice way? It should be appreciated. Like, I don't have to. I want to.
No, of course. But at the end of the day, like, even though I agree, it should be appreciated. It should, like, a girl should not go on a date and order stuff if she cannot afford it.
That's the other thing.
I agree. However, if you ask the girl out on a date, I still believe that you should pay.
So, yeah, that's true. That's true. But usually on the first date, if you go with a girl and she chooses the most expensive items on the menu, then that's definitely a red flag. Like, maybe she is not planning on...
I disagree. I not necessarily. Because, like, one depends on what is, like, your life situation and where do you go. Of course, if you go to a restaurant where they have a gold-plated
like the
truffle,
Salt Bay guy,
truffle,
exactly,
ribeye aged whatever, that's like $2,000. Yeah, no,
don't go for that.
Don't go for that.
Yeah,
but like usually because you have a lot of girls that go like, I'm gonna have the salad, whatever. Like, I find it refreshing. Someone that just orders like they would order like normally.
If it feels natural.
Yeah.
If it feels like she usually eats filet mignon, then yeah, go for it.
Exactly.
But if you have no idea what filet mignon means,
usually when you take someone out on a date and you're paying, you usually also kind of like choose the place you guys are going. You make the reservations or whatever.
Yeah.
So make sure you can afford it in the first place.
Yeah, but you know, in some restaurants there are a big array of items on the menu.
Well, usually you kind of know what's what.
Of
Like,
course, of course, of course. But you know, I saw a Joe Rogan episode where he's obviously, I mean, not obviously, but he's apparently very, very generous with his friends,
yeah,
and he takes them out to the big banger restaurants, etc., to eat meat. He's a
yeah.
big meat lover, and I heard them saying that they actually let him order first, so they know what they order, and they would never go over what he ordered. Like if he, but usually he orders like the tomahawk and like the big
Yeah.
piece of meat, whatever. They would not take the golden one or like the sparkled with diamonds one. They would just order
No.
either like him or below him. And I think
that you should order what you want, but
No.
but reasonably.
no.
Like not.
Well,
too
then what do you mean? It's counter.
No, what I mean is
counterproductive.
that you're not gonna order the ridiculous steak, like a $2,000 steak because it has a gold on it or whatever. That's
Yeah.
a bit ridiculous. Even if you have all the money in the world, why would you order that? That's ridiculous. But like if I'm having, I don't know, like a 250 grams steak, and you are hungry, and I'm paying, get the 500. If you're hungry, it's
No.
fine.
No, so this is where we disagree. I think it's if you're hungry, just socialize, eat what you think is
Me, what I expect
proper,
from people,
and then go
if-
eat after.
if
Go
I-
eat at McDonald's
if
on your way
I
home.
invite someone, personally, what I expect from them is that to have the normal meal that they would have if they were paying,
Yeah.
right? That's the deal. And if you are hungry and you would pay for the 500 grams, go ahead. But if you will never put that money and you would eat only like the 100-gram one and stuff, then keep eating the 100-gram
You know,
one.
here's the thing. One day we were hanging out here, and
Yeah.
your brother took us out like two little bitches. He took us to the pizza place.
Yeah.
And he said we were going to go grab pizzas for everybody.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, don't worry, guys, I'll pay.
Yeah.
I would not think it would be like, for example, sometimes I take the cheesy crust.
Yeah.
When I knew your brother was paying, I got the regular one.
Yeah.
What do you think about that move?
I understand it. Because like you don't want to like.
Hey, by the way, make it extra. Make it, that's
this
rude.
this I understand 100%.
Yeah.
However, if you did, I don't think that
What you-
anyone would be please would be like, oh, he took the cheesy crust.
No,
Can you
but
believe
like
it?
because it would
Because-
appear like, oh, I just realized he's paying, so let me
No,
see
because
what I can get.
You would normally get one. We're talking about pizzas. Everybody can afford them, right?
That's true,
And-
but it's still a small gesture.
If my brother was like, "Hey, I got this," and you were like, "Oh, you got this," then we'll take 2 extra pizzas and this and this and this. This is fucked
That's
up,
true.
right?
That's true.
But like, cheesy-
No, but the way it happened-
me personally, if your brother was paying, for instance,
Mm.
and which we could have paid, right?
Yeah, yeah, that
want
we were
eat
going to
and
pay,
stuff,
actually,
I would
yeah.
probably turn to you or to maybe not your brother directly because I would have that kind of relationship with him, but I would be like, shouldn't we take a cheesy crust?
Yeah.
You know, like
Subtle.
because me, what I hate more than anything in the world is when I'm in those situations where like somebody's paying for me or whatever, and I can't do what I would normally do.
That's true.
This I hate it.
That's
because,
true.
Like, I have it so much like just in McDonald's. I remember was one of the things that kind of like stuck in my head. I went in and we had a large order, and I went and I told him like, we need like 5 sauces of this, 5 of this, 5 of this, right?
Yeah.
And the guy told me, he gave me like 4 sauces, and he told me just take these ones and it's fine. I'm like, no, I want the 5 sauces.
Just
of
give me
each. He was
exactly
like,
what
no,
I
no,
want.
No. This you're not gonna pay for them. There you go. There was like 4. I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
You get it? And I kind of have that same feeling when like, if you're offering to pay for something, I expect and I expect others to be like that, especially when I'm not inviting you. Like, oh, you don't have the means normally or whatever. Like, get whatever you usually get.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if I'm getting just a salad, so if I'm not very hungry, everyone I'm inviting should
No,
not eat.
no,
This makes no sense to
I
me.
understand, but don't go for extra. Like refrain yourself from going all out. Just
No,
that
you
night,
just
if you
be
see
normal.
somebody, be normal, But sometimes I feel like going. Sometimes when we go out
Yeah.
together, we go crazy. We are like hungry and we go a little
Yes.
overboard. And sometimes we eat like most of the times we eat like regular. So that time when I'm inviting, maybe don't call it that crazy night. Go regular.
I disagree on that.
Well,
one.
anyways,
we should eat
that's-
normally.
yeah.
You know what I hate more than anything? And this, I'm gonna take this opportunity to do it. Like, there's some times where, like, for instance, this happened a lot with like family, friends, and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, the kids don't pay, for instance, or something like that, right? But there's one that shows up with 6 kids, and they go all out. And those our parents are like, be nice. You have you can have one plate, and either a starter or a dessert, not both.
Yeah.
There was these rules, and there was like these other kids, like they go all out, and I see my parents like they're paying for everyone. Only the adults pay or whatever. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
this is
That's
not
not fair.
This is
That's
not
not
right.
fair. But I don't know if you had the same thing. But when it was the case, like we are like four boys in my
Yeah.
I have 3 other brothers, and I remember when we were young, we were going to visit my uncle or whatever. We have that prep talk before we got in the house.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
Don't take the
don't
cookies,
don't
only
behave like
one-
savages. Like
one
you eat
cookie,
one, that's it. You
this,
stop.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's also interesting about
I
food,
never understood that again.
You never understood what, like that they.
That prep.
Nah,
Because me personally, like, if kids came to my place and I had cookies, I'd be happy for them to
but
eat
if
more.
they eat all of them,
Fine, that's great.
nah. I'll tell you something.
What?
Last summer, I think, when I took my daughter to your house,
Yeah.
prep talk.
Why the fuck? Would
She
you do that?
was only 2.5 or maybe 3.
Why
I
the-
told her, listen, please, thank
No.
you. No, like
This,
I have
agree.
to remind her. Obviously,
No,
she's only
she's a
3.
kid.
It's
Oh,
fine if she doesn't.
100%.
But listen, please, thank you. You wait until daddy says yes, you can eat, and then you eat. Because I know her. She's
Yeah,
she's a kid,
She's
obviously.
gonna
But
take a bite of
a
this,
bite and then
of
throw
this.
it and
Yeah,
then say
yeah.
it's not good and then spit on the plate and then it's not good. Daddy, it's not good. So I think the prep talk before going inside house.
No, it's important, like, for manners and stuff. But at the end of the day, like, what do you fucking expect? It's a 2.5-year-old
Absolutely.
kid. Like, if your kid came and, I don't know, cried or spat in, like you said, or be like, I don't like this,
Yeah.
whatever. Like, what am I? It's a fucking 2.5.
I understand. I understand. But even if she was like 6 or 7, I would say, listen,
this I
remember,
agree. The
please,
yous,
thank
the
you,
please, the
hello,
stuff, this
how
I-
are you? Yeah,
this
you
is
don't
100%.
walk in and jump to the pool right away and
Yeah,
not
yeah,
say
yeah,
hi
yeah.
to anybody. So, but anyways, yeah. So that's an interesting thing. How about eating the last piece of something on the dish?
That one.
Do you leave it or do you take it? Or because I have a guy who helps me in my farm.
Yeah.
So he has a small farm next door, and he's the one who's helping me manage the whole thing, and very respectful.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
at the
naturally.
last piece of meat, the last
Yeah.
piece of cookie, the last piece of whatever,
He's gonna-
nobody would touch it.
Yeah.
You have to insist and say, take it. He would say, no, I'm good, I'm full, I'm done. And he start washing his hand. Listen, just eat it. And the last piece always stays
Yeah.
in the center of the dish. So do you
That-
take it? Do you say it's fine?
That
fuck it?
one is one that I hate, because, like, I feel that it's one of those situations where everyone loses, and I
Yes.
don't like those situations.
I agree.
Usually, I calculate these things.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, if we order, I don't know, like wings or something that we share, and it's not like divided in an even number or
Yeah.
whatever, what I would usually do is I would cut it in half or something, or because I kind of hate that concept, because, like, no one wins. I don't like that.
Even
But
pizzas. You
when-
start eating slices
and
of
also
pizza.
It depends on the relationship. Like, if I'm with my family, for instance, I'll be like, and I see that I start analyzing around me, like, okay, who has his eyes on this? And then I drop a little, no one wants the last piece? You know? And they be like, no, go ahead. I'll be like, we can share if you want. And
I
eat it.
don't know.
And that's with family.
Yeah.
when I'm with people where kind of like I don't feel that comfortable and stuff, it's always like no,
Yeah.
please have it, please have it.
Sometimes you do want it hard. I mean,
Man,
like,
you
I'm
want it
full.
like crazy.
I'm full. I'm done.
Yeah.
They're like, really? No, go for
You're
it.
like,
No, guys,
you're like, I'm full.
Oh,
I'm full.
well, if you leave it, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Okay, next situation. Do you think rich friends
Uh-huh.
should contribute more when going out in a group or whatever? Like, imagine not just like somebody who has slightly more money at that period of time, but somebody who's like rolling, like he's balling.
I think ultimately, as a objective rule, no. They should not contribute more. Everyone should contribute.
So the guy in the
same.
group who is struggling and the guy in the group who's like filthy rich should
Yeah.
contribute the same.
Objectively. Then, subjectively, depending on your relationship with the guy or whatever, there are some relationship where you can, because it's not being just unfair to the guy who pays more, but it's also being fair to the guy who pays less. Meaning that, I have some friends that were like in my friend group where we had those dynamics a bit, and usually we decide to cover him. He always because we know that like it would hit him a bit harder than us, whatever. But it's never like expected.
Yeah.
Like this is why I tell you objectively, like if you're going to a place or if you're eating at a restaurant or whatever, it's the same for the first date.
Yeah.
If it's not expected, meaning that if I decide like I'm paying only my share of the stuff, you shouldn't be like, oh my god, how am I gonna do it, right?
Yeah.
If you're here, you should be able to. Or I invite you from the get-go, like I tell you, hey, you come have a bite with us. You can be like, if you're my friend and you can speak like openly, you'd be like, yeah, maybe not this time. You know,
I'm a bit
end
tight,
of-
etc.
A bit
Yeah.
tight and stuff. I'll be like, no, you're on me tonight. Let's roll.
You know, even a better move
Yeah.
would be before he says that, you would be like, hey, come, you're on me tonight. Come join us. We're just going to grab a quick bite.
No, I'm talking about a friend with whom
Yeah.
you're
Of course, you're close.
enough,
Of course.
to-
Of course.
to say those
Of
things.
course.
And I, to be honest, I don't have that relation of paying for someone or covering for someone if you're not that close, because I always have that feeling that you're belittling a bit the person as well, like
yeah.
because I've seen that so many times where it's like no, don't worry, we'll pay.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff,
It gives you.
or,
It's a power.
I
It's a
don't
power
like that.
move that could be a little
However,
rude. Yeah.
I learned my lesson as well, because some motherfuckers,
They hard
They're
their game pretty
ungrat-
well.
they are ungrateful as shit. I remember this all my life. This guy. Imagine this. What is this?
Story
It's
time.
your,
No.
what's your feet?
What?
Yeah,
Yeah. I just. Oh, see,
Yeah,
I'm trying to break the house down.
So, this guy, we all go, mind you, were college times. You know, you had those $10,
Yeah.
$20 a
Yeah.
day, 10 for gas, 10 or whatever, to have a bite. And we go to have a bite, and I remember I had like 50 dirhams, which is like basically $5. Enough to get you like a decent meal at the McDonald's,
Yeah.
for instance, right? And we all go with the friends and stuff, like starving and everything. And everyone's ordering, and I see this friend in the back, like that's a bit like, you know, kicking his his feet being like this. And I look at him like, you're not ordering? He's like, no. And I heard him before. He was like, I'm starving, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. Okay. He doesn't have the money.
I'll spot
I
you.
have
Yeah.
no. I have $50. I don't have
Yeah.
enough. So I'm like, you know what? Just
We'll
roll
share.
with me. We took like two like small menus, like cheese menus.
Yeah.
Right? We take the cheeseburgers, small fries, small Coke, whatever.
Like
We
the
sit
kids
down.
menu,
Yeah,
pretty
the
much.
kids menu. But, so we eat it, and I'm happy. You know, like
Yeah,
my
that's
bro's
fine,
eating.
yeah.
All he finishes, he takes out. He had like enough to
100.
buy a second cheeseburger. He went, got to second cheeseburger, ate it. I was like, motherfucker.
That's a bitch
You know?
move for sure.
Bitch ass move.
That's a bitch move.
So,
But
yeah.
you know, some people play poor.
Yeah.
I know. I have a friend who's kind of like not cheap, but he's like saving money. And every time we
Yeah.
used to go out and like drink out, etc., he would stop to the ATM and we draw like 100 dirhams, which is
His budget.
a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's his budget. And after a while, he was telling me that he was going to Paris on a weekend because he wanted to buy this Canon camera, and
Yeah.
he's been saving for a while. And to be honest, I felt a little bit betrayed because he puts that 100 dirhams and we spot him.
Yeah.
And usually we spend a lot more than 100
Yeah.
dirhams each, and we spot him, and then he saved for that camera. And I'm like, okay, so where's my camera? Well, it's down the drain pretty much. So, but I understand when people are saving money and they are really like being very economical. That's fine. But then don't go and order a bottle of whatever and then sit with us if
yeah.
you only
No,
want
I
to.
agree.
You can't have it both way.
Yeah.
But yeah, the one thing that's also interesting before we move on from money, they would say together or separate. I would be with my brother or a good friend or whatever. If he says separate, it's a declaration of war. Like, separate, motherfucker, right? Like, it's just, you spot me this time, I'll spot you next time. In the States, even like I saw like sometimes couples hugging and shit, and they go up and they will say, "Oh, separate. Hi, can I get?"
Yeah.
So very very different
There are
mentalities there.
But
Very
once
different
again,
mentalities.
like it's
in Morocco, you
it's
bite the
always
bullets and
mentality.
you just pay for it, or you find a way to make the other person pay, or you just ask, "Hey, can you spot me?" But like together or separate.
Yeah. That's
In Morocco, it's like a declaration
I
of war.
remember once I went on vacation with a big group, like we were like 15 people or maybe 20.
Yeah.
And we had that try-count app.
Oh yeah.
And we're doing okay, like makes things even, I guess. I'm not a big fan of every time, like, because there was like ridiculous stuff, like I bought a pack of chips that 3 people ate from, so I'm gonna put Jawad, him, and this.
And I took a cab to go to Marjan to buy food for everybody, so the cab fare was this much, and you came with me, so we split it. Like, oh, come on,
I found it
cut
a bit
this
ridiculous, but fine.
Yeah.
But as we were, like, the trip ended, we were coming back from Marrakesh to Rabat, and we stopped at the gas station. We grab a bite, and this couple, like, we're talking about a couple that's like weeks of getting married, not like and the guy takes something, and they order food together, and she's like, "Oh, I forgot my purse in the car or something." And the guy said, "No, don't worry.
I'll
I'll
try
pay.
count that shit for you."
I'll
Oh
pay."
my God.
And he counted that shit for his girl. And I'm like, bro, come on, man. This is out of line.
This is like really crazy, especially like they were about to get
We're
married.
talking about fucking less than $10, and you're
Yeah. All right, let's move on from money, but maybe we can come back and in another episode and do more subjects about money, because there's a lot to say there. But how about social life? And we talked about this earlier tonight, actually, which is if I invite you to my house,
Yes,
is it okay for you to bring a +1?
yes, it is.
Okay.
But there are rules.
Okay.
First rule, you need to announce.
Okay.
Like, if it's cool. First rule, you need to kind of like analyze if it's the right situation. Because if you're, I don't know, we're friends and you're like down or depressed, or I don't know.
Of course, this is not the right time to do that.
You're not gonna bring your +1, right? And read the room a bit. But I'm saying, like, if it's like a chill night, whatever. 1, I need to announce. 2, I need to vouch.
Yeah.
3, I need to take full responsibility.
Yeah.
Meaning that whoever I bring is an extension of me. Those are the rules.
So, we used to hang out a lot in my house back when I lived in the other apartments, and at one point I remember we had a lot of people that were not necessarily in the small nuclear group, and to be honest, that's how I saw things. Like,
Yes.
you would only bring someone, it's like an extension of you. You're responsible for him. I don't
Yeah.
want to deal like if he's funny, friendly, that's fine. But if he's your cousin, whatever, he comes, he sits, he
Yeah.
fits inside that vibe, that's fine. But if he's awkward and your mother asked you to bring your brother with you and he's a
Yeah.
little bit awkward, but hey, I'm just gonna bring him there, then that's a little bit.
I 100% agree. And also, like, if you cannot 100% vouch for someone inside the house, nothing stops you from me personally. When I'm in that situation where I can get rid of someone or wherever, I'll be like, how about we go out? You know, like
yeah,
grab a
neutral
coffee,
ground, yeah.
whatever stuff. But sometimes what I don't like is when basically you start bringing in people and you become the one invited to the party. You know what I mean?
What do you
Like
mean, no?
the host becomes the one invited to the party.
Yeah.
This is when where it's a bit. I don't know. I've seen it a few times. I find it a bit weird. Like it becomes like, oh, we're just looking for a place where we can chill. You have like it's the guy that has the ball. And like you can play, but go goalie. You know, like
That's true. That's a little bit disrespectful.
I don't like. But like I said, you need to kind of like have that sensitivity of, you know, knowing if people will match together and stuff. Like I know that sometimes when you bring someone or whatever, you're like it's also on you to take the responsibility of animating the link, because like you can bring someone that's shy and then that's not very outgoing and stuff, and the host is not very outgoing and stuff, and you cannot just be like having your discussions with this guy or having your like it's your role to bring, you know, like to integrate,
to mix everybody together.
Because, we know a few times where we were invited to some places, and like,
we didn't fit in.
And like no one, because you're not very outgoing or whatever, that's like no one tries to like
to bound people together.
Together. And at some point you're like, okay, I've made like 25 minutes going back and forth to the bar and the bathroom and going to fetch stuff in the car.
That's true. But I think it's also the host's responsibility to make everybody feel comfortable. Like if you bring a friend, I will make sure that he is comfortable. First thing that I don't like about people when they try to make you feel comfortable is they bombard you with questions. Where are you from? What do you do? No, give him some space. Just chill. Hey, do you like a drink? Do you like this?
Yeah.
Feel free. These are the bathrooms. This is the kitchen. Feel free. Grab whatever you want and make him feel comfortable. But don't put too much pressure on him.
Don't put all the attention.
Because especially if he just walks in, this is even somebody who's socially comfortable would feel a little uncomfortable being bombarded with this. You know, when I was really young, I around 14, 15, hanging out with the boys was cool, but the neck plus ultra, like the best thing was when you had chicks.
Of course.
And when you were hanging out with chicks, it's like submarine top secret mission. Like only the VVIP come in the group, and like imagine you're hanging out with chicks in the house, because in Morocco it's technically, it's not like, hey, hi dad, my friends are coming over. No. It's like when the house is empty, when the parents are traveling, and etc. etc. And I remember one day we were having a few chicks together and with the boys, and we were hanging out and everything was fun. And they're like, and sometimes I saw that when I was young, it's like, hey, why don't we call, for example, Reda? Yeah, no, Reda, not Reda. And then there is like a mini vote. Maybe not today, not tonight, etc., etc. And I was hanging out with some chicks and some boys, and they said, oh, let's call X, whatever, Omar. And sure. And those girls were hot. And the Omar who came, he was just like he was no threat. Let's put it this way.
Okay.
But Omar decided to bring his cousin, who's like a fucking supermodel. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, Omar? Like, and when he came in, I was like, all right, the gig is over now. fuck? I said, hey guys, I hope you don't mind I brought Omar. I said, like, you don't have any uglier cousins? Like, you had only this guy to bring. Like, why do you fucking bring like a fucking super? And of course, as soon as the guy came in, the attention started like popping around him, and everybody was like, "Hey, so how are you?" I'm like, "All right, I guess this is game over." All right, Omar.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you bring a friend, make sure you don't ruin the plan for everybody. Like we've been working on this for weeks, and now you bring us like a supermodel. But yeah. Usually I only bring friends when I know they will fit in, when I know it's like the same vibe, or like I remember like a couple years ago I brought my friend Driss because we were hanging out here and you guys were having like the New Year's party at your brother's house, and I asked, of course, and I knew that my friend was actually pretty cool, etc., etc. He didn't blend it as much as I wanted him to, but it was like neutral. It was okay. But yeah, when you bring somebody, read the room, it has to be like some kind of.
Of course, you needed to have some like. It's your responsibility at the end of the day. Just take your responsibilities.
Let's talk about gifts. Birthday gifts. If somebody gives you a birthday gift or a gift, do you feel obliged to reciprocate with the gift of the same value? Like if I offer you an expensive watch, can you like just...
Depends, because what's for sure is that it kind of like starts a thing where I need to give something that has the same value, but not necessarily the same monetary value.
Ooh, okay.
Like because I don't know, like if I'm not that wealthy, for instance, and you gift me something that has a nice price tag on it and stuff, but you're super wealthy. Maybe the right move is not to give you the expensive gift. It's to give you that pinpoint that gift. I don't know, you're a collector. There's like this book that you want so bad.
Yeah.
That's hard to find. It's not very expensive, but it's super hard to find.
Yeah.
That will hold more value to you than the money. So you need to bring the same value, not necessarily the same monetary value.
Yeah. In the States, they have this thing around Christmas, which is Secret Santa.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is actually pretty cool. Like I remember when I used to hang out in those circles.
Over every time.
That's true. But they give you like a $25 limit. Yeah. And then you buy whatever. And there is always a smart ass who would say, no, it was not that expensive. And he would like, in the Office. They did an episode about The Office where
he's gonna spend like $200.
He bought like an iPod and which was like something like 150 or something. I said, no, it wasn't that much. And he ruined everything. Like you have to play by the rules. And you know that if you buy me like a GoPro, I'm not gonna buy you like whatever, like invite you to McDonald's and the GoPro is like worth 50 McDonald's.
That's what one of the things that I hate about Secret Santa when I play is that take it seriously to at least a bit of an extent.
True.
Like I don't know. Okay, budget $25. Fine. Okay. I have Jawad. I picked Jawad. Fine. Not gonna get Jawad the fucking whatever. Like I'm gonna try to study him.
Exactly.
He likes this. He likes that.
Exactly.
Like
Don't get me like a keychain, like a random keychain.
Like shit that I've got. Man, imagine this Secret Santa. It was that budget's like 25 stuff. Like we had a very smart group of people. Yeah. And they like squeezed those 25, like pinpointed. It was only creating emotions of like $500. That's how well they pinpointed stuff. I got a fucking chocolate elf or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean it's actually
do a bit of research and stuff.
That's true.
Not just like, oh shit, I forgot.
Whatever. That should be fine. No, but that's true. I think there is a whole art about gifts.
Yeah.
In Japan they have a very cool thing about gifts. Like when they give you a gift, they give you perishable gifts. Yeah. Like chocolate, wine, whatever. Yeah. Because if I offer you, like for example, a teapot, beautiful teapot, if I give it to you and you don't, I think it's cool. But if if you don't think it's cool and I offer it to you, then you're stuck with it.
You can't get rid of it.
Then you're stuck with it.
And
So
they also
I'm
have something
pushing
about size.
my taste. Yeah, that's also the
Like,
size. If I give you a huge vase,
yeah.
this is gonna be a bitch to fit into your
Yeah,
living
yeah.
room, and you're stuck with it. You cannot sell it. You can accidentally break it, which I sometimes do. But anyways,
Yeah.
that's the own thing. How about tardiness, being late? How okay is it to be late? And do you sometimes do it on purpose? Because I know I do. Like,
No.
you invite me to a wedding, it says you can start coming at 8 o'clock. No way I'm there at 8 o'clock. Nobody's there at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
I know they will
Yes.
serve food
Yes.
by midnight.
Yes.
I will be there around 10 o'clock.
No, me. I think it depends on the volume of people.
Okay.
Like one-on-one,
You have to be on time.
I can't waste
Yes.
someone's time.
Yes.
Like I give a lot of value to my time, and I can't take for granted someone else's time.
I would give a little detail on this one,
Yeah.
nuance on this one. One-on-one, if you know I'm waiting at home, I'm just chilling. Hey, okay, stop by at 3 o'clock. Sure, 3 o'clock. If you come at 3:15, I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's 3 o'clock. But if you're waiting in a cafe or
But
somewhere
that's
around the
not
corner,
like
that's different.
That's not like me. Like today, you told me, after work, swing by. Like, does that mean 8? Does that mean 8:30? That mean,
That's
like,
true.
And you're home. If we said like, especially when you don't know, because even if I'm late with you, I'll be like, sorry, bro, got caught up with something. You would be somewhat understanding. But especially when you are not that close or someone has shit to do or whatever, like 10 or 10:15 is a huge difference.
I disagree. I think
No,
it really
it's a
depends
huge
where the guy
difference.
is. If I know you're really busy and you're making time to see me to grab a coffee, of course I will be there on time. But if I know you're just hanging out at home and you say, hey, all right, I'll swing by. Is 3 o'clock fine? Yeah, 3 o'clock is okay.
No, this I agree.
I would come at 3:15, no problem.
No,
or I
this
would come
I
maybe
agree.
even earlier, that's fine.
But if I have an hour,
Clearly. Absolutely. And how about big gathering, like a party or a birthday party or New Year's? Like, if it says...
usually I come 1 hour later. And I'm
That's a good
usually
rule of thumb, yeah.
and usually I'm the first one there.
Which is
weird.
fucked.
Because usually like weddings, stuff like that, I always have the same thing. I start getting ready at the start of the event.
Yeah.
Meaning if we need to be there at 6,
I'll start taking my shower at
taking
6.
my shower, dress up, whatever. I'm there an hour later.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't like to be
Because there's
early.
nothing more horrible than being there
being early.
early.
Oh my God, it sucks so
Remember
much.
we had an event where we were both invited. I think you didn't
Which
even
one?
show up at that event.
Which one? I'm not sure.
It was a friend of ours that had a kid. Not far from here.
I honestly don't remember. Just say it. We'll cut it. I'm not gonna cut it.
I know you.
No, I'm gonna cut it. I'm
It's
gonna cut it.
nothing like I guess it, but like
Who?
it was the son of Abdi,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So we got invited for his.
I didn't even
bash
show
up.
up,
You
you're
didn't show up. Anyways, so we have this crew that with who we do like the podcast and stuff, and we're like, we're invited and stuff.
You came in fucking way early. You're like,
Wait,
hey,
the,
guys.
the invitation said 8.
But what kind of
Wait,
event was
wait,
it? That's
wait.
also important.
No, wait, the event was like basically 250 people.
His family, his cousin was getting married, and they were using his villa at his parents' house. So
no,
it's
no,
not
no, it's a different.
That's a
event.
different one?
Yeah, I'm talking about the event for
us.
For
Okay.
Anyways,
Okay.
250 people. Basically, it's like the baptême.
Yeah.
In a way. The guy, the father, does the podcast with us, so we go.
Good friend, etc. Yeah.
You know, fine. But he's in a 300 people event. You know, like so he's walking around being like, "Hey, welcome."
Being a good host to everybody. Yeah.
Good host, right?
Mm.
These fuckers. So we were invited for something like I think the invitation said 8:30.
Yeah.
I showed up probably around 10:30. The fuckers didn't. The first fuckers didn't show up until like midnight.
I didn't even bother showing up. Yeah.
And I stood there, like not knowing anyone in the 300. And mind you, these 300 people, all family, friends, they know each other, whatever.
People like 300 people you never met.
Never met.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing.
not in a something like an environment that's extremely social or inviting, like very closed stuff,
Family groups,
loud
etc.,
music. So
yeah.
even small talk is like, what?
Yeah.
Whatever. So
But you know, it's very awkward. Very awkward.
2 hours. I came in 2 hours later. Those fuckers made me wait 2 hours.
No, but you know what? Like, you would invite me to a gathering, a party, etc. It would really depend. Like, for example, when I invite you guys to the farm, etc., etc.
Yeah.
For example, I say 3 o'clock, 3:15, 3:30. That's fine. But when people show up at 6 and we are about to wrap up, it's like, dude, we were supposed to play soccer. You did not come. And when I don't like when I call people to say, hey, so 1 hour later, like, where are you at? Oh, you know, I'm just finishing work. I'm going to stop by my house. And then, like, you knew you were going to be so fucking late. Like, I think it's a little bit disrespectful.
There's also different types of event. Like, for instance, when we go to the farm, we want to play football, for instance, right? Well, especially that usually people come together in cars and stuff. When one guy doesn't show up, basically no one plays. It's not just him.
Yeah.
So there's also that to take into consideration, is that sometimes you need to know what's the impact of you not going, or of you not making the effort.
We have a guy, I'm sorry to cut you off, we play soccer with when we used to, who's always late.
Yes.
You know exactly who I'm talking about. Rude or, it's fine. He's like, so let's put it this way. We play like a 5 or whatever, like a mini football thing, 5 versus 5 or 6 versus 6. So we need people. Most people come in like 5 or 10 minutes late. This guy comes in like 25 minutes late. And mind you, we reserve the pitch for like an hour or maybe an hour and a half. He comes in like 30 minutes late to play another 30, 45 minutes and then leave. So like for me, he's a repeat customer in terms of being late. I think it's too often to be. He doesn't care enough.
Yeah, there's this weird thing that happens when somebody does something enough for you to anticipate it.
Yeah, but still, it's still a bitch move.
Because, like, for instance, one of our friends from the foutoir, which is Mehdi Naji.
Mehdi Naji, there you go.
And I stated the name this time. Notoriously never passes the ball on the field.
True.
That makes him someone that's like on paper annoying to play with.
Very much so.
Yet, I would gladly play with him.
True.
On my team.
True. But if you didn't know him,
if I didn't know him, I would tell you I don't want him to ever play with us.
That's the thing.
And it's kind of like the same thing with those, like, there's at some point it's so blatantly done that it's like, okay, we're just gonna
that's just the way he is.
C'est dans les pertes.
Yeah.
It's fine.
That's true. I also had another guy who always decided to leave a little bit early before the end of the match to take a shower.
And never pay.
Yeah,
he did. He got away with it for a year and a half.
All right, and when I finally caught him, because I was the one taking care of that, and I said, dude, I'm always covering for you. You have no, so you know, this moment was like delicious, to be honest. Okay. So the way I cornered him, I'm like, you know, we play for this to rent this to play this game, right? We pay the club, right? And he says, yeah, sure, man. You know what? This is so much fun playing with you guys, etc. I'm like, yeah, sure. Oh, I'm coming. Have you ever paid? And he said, have I? I think so.
Probably.
I said, it's not like you could forget if you have been playing for 1 year without even paying once, or maybe you paid sometimes you don't. Like, you have never paid. I have never seen. He said, really? I think I paid. Who did I pay? I said, it's just me, baby. It's just you could only pay me. Like there is nobody else. So for a year you haven't paid. And then I said, dude, you came consistently and you always
and
leave
we were
50
playing back then three
three
times
times
a
a
week.
week. So it adds up. And I said, I did the math. And he said, no, that's too much. No. I'm like, I'm not giving you a price. You're not paying me. You're actually paying for your spot. And he said, yeah. He tried to cut a deal. And I think I said, yeah, just give me whatever. It was like something like 500 dirhams, like $50. And he said, nah, man, I only have, let me see. What do you mean I don't only have, let me see? Like, I don't give a shit how much you have. Like, you've been playing. So, yeah, some people are sneaky like that. But usually, it's all fun and games. We were so many, it wasn't that bad. All right, let's do one last one and then we'll wrap it up. Let me make sure I get one that is interesting. Oh, this one we're gonna disagree.
Oh, I love
text messages.
Okay.
You see where I'm going with this?
Yes.
Okay. Is it okay? Two questions.
Yeah.
Is it okay? How long do you have before it's not okay anymore? It's rude not to answer a text message. And the other thing is, do you feel a little bit oppressed when somebody calls you right away on your phone instead of texting you? Let's start with the delay before it's within which it's okay to answer, to respond. Like, for example, if I send you a text message, is it okay for you to answer 48 hours later?
48, no.
Okay.
But I would say no.
Okay.
In some cases, I would say, honestly, I think it's a question of how, like, there's some people you have an hour to answer. More than that, it's a problem. Some people, like, and it goes down the line. Like, for instance, someone that I share things that are affected by time, and I usually mark them with the sounds and stuff like that. Like, those are, because the way I kind of function is, there are times where I kind of like shift. I don't like to mix. When I'm in work mode, I'm in work mode. When I'm chilling, I'm chilling. And usually those are the times I kind of like go like answer my chilling messages or my more serious stuff. But I would say there are people I find it fine to answer 3 days later.
Okay.
Right? Like, depends, I would say. Honestly.
Okay, let me tell you my way of looking at this. Okay.
And I have one extra note, and this one is the worst one of them all, because like sometimes you have annoying people on, especially like WhatsApp and stuff.
Yeah.
Where they're sensitive, they don't understand certain things, whatever. So you don't want to necessarily open WhatsApp because like they would be stalking you and being like, oh, he's online and he didn't answer, right?
Yeah.
Cuckoos.
You know who you are.
So there was this great invention where you have the notification where you kind of like can pick the importance of the message.
This is key.
Right?
This is key.
So if it's like, hey, have you seen this movie or whatever the fuck? You can take a few hours to respond. If it's like, hey, I'm at the door, can you open or whatever? That's different.
That's an emergency, right?
But some fuckers, and sometimes he's one of those fuckers. Okay. They send a vocal note. You can't know what's.
True. I call them my mini podcast.
Oh my god! And that one, you because sometimes you're on a call or whatever, you can sneak peek something. Those vocal notes,
you cannot. So here is the thing about vocal notes. I have a few techniques. Because I know that some people like me, they have like the notifications.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, now you can see them in like cascade mode. But before, I think you could only see the last one. So what I used to do is send the question that I want, and then the next message that would say, okay, And I know they would be curious to see, okay, what? And they would open it and then, ha, gotcha,
Ah,
bitch, gotcha. Gotcha, you read it. Okay. The second thing, now I think on WhatsApp they changed a little things. You don't have the blue check mark anymore. I think nobody uses it because nobody likes to know when I read your message. Just because sometimes I read it, but I'm in the middle of something.
Exactly.
Not enough to not read it, but enough so I don't have time to answer
No, but
right away.
You see what you just said, that not enough. Sometimes the not enough doesn't make you come back to it,
Yeah.
and you don't realize that you didn't answer the person for like
For
24 hours.
for me, I think I like to leave voice messages because typing is I type pretty fast, but
That you can
sometimes
dictate.
I don't have time. I'm like,
No, but dictate.
nah, don't dictate. Just like
Okay, let me
you listen to it
okay.
times 2, times 3, whatever, times point
One
1.5.
One thing that I don't have though is the calls. If you call me, I might not answer you right away, but missed calls are always
Priority for you. Yeah, no, I
I
understand.
always call back, even if it's something chill or whatever. Like calls, for me, like calls gives you the urgency of stuff.
I understand. So if I really want to talk to you, I would definitely call you, and I know
Yeah.
you would put it high on the priority. If
Yeah,
I text
like,
you, it means it's not really that urgent. That's why I don't like when people call me just to chill, or some people.
No, this I hate.
Some people
Oh
who
my
drive a lot.
God.
Some people who drive a lot. They're like, they have 2 hours drive and then they go, hey, so what's up? No, motherfucker. I'm not driving. I don't have 2 hours to
I'm not
kill.
that guy. Find another victim, motherfucker.
Call your mother, call your
my
brother, call your sister. Not me. No, I'm not just hanging out for 2 hours because you're driving to whatever Marrakesh.
Because you know what those fuckers, what they do? Especially in Morocco. Like, when they have like a 2-hour trip and you know they want to talk for 2 hours, they don't introduce a subject or what. They have a normal discussion with you for those like 30 to 40 seconds of a normal call.
Yeah.
And then there's the silence. And then there's the, hey, what? Very high pitched. Very high pitched. Hey, what?
That's it. That's it. You know, this
Okay.
is a tunnel. This is a tunnel you're not getting out of.
I'm going to tell you something I did. I had a few friends,
Yeah.
even family members, but family members, I would say, I can understand you.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah.
You're
That's,
missing me and
they
stuff.
have they
Okay, cool.
have privilege.
I had this friend. Every time he calls me, like every time, it ended up in a 3-hour call. 3-hour call. And impossible not getting one cue, like, oh, yeah. Anyways, no, it doesn't get any cue. So what I used to do, I used to take, and this, I apologize. I hope you're not seeing this, and if you are, I apologize. But, hey, I used to take my phone, check the time,
Yeah.
and try to find, like, a round number.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, here, I'd be like, oh, it's 10:05. I mean, like, hey, how are you doing and stuff. Man, I'm so happy to get you. I have, like, a meeting starting in 10 minutes, but I wanted to...
Yeah,
you know,
I
like,
do that,
and
too.
And I'm like, okay, and at 14, I'm like, shit, sorry, bro. Was great catching up with you. I really have to bounce.
I gotta run. Yeah.
But, like, we should catch up or whatever.
Yeah.
And I put the
Yeah.
timer on.
Or
Because if I don't...
Yeah, you have to put boundaries. You know, sometimes what I also do is, but like you said, from the get-go, as soon as they hey, how you doing? I'm like, yeah, are you busy? Well, I have something in 5 minutes, but yeah, go ahead, tell me what's up. You have 5 minutes, bitch. Just get to it. Get to it quick. Like, I'm not gonna. And usually, yeah, because it depends on the mood of, like, if you are driving and you have 2 hours to kill, and I understand, if I had the 2 hours to kill, I would love to talk to you, but I don't.
I do it. I do it personally.
Yeah.
Like, especially when I used to do the drive a lot to Marrakesh. It's
Yeah.
like 3-hour drive. But I usually handle the big ass dossier. You know, the cousin that you haven't spoken to in like 2 years. This guy, whatever. I try to catch, and I do, like, during the road, like 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah.
Chill.
But you know, you choose the timing, you choose the people, you know
And
they
I
are
don't-
busy,
but
they are
I-
not
me-
busy,
me, I
etc.
hate having the feeling that I'm disturbing
bothering
someone.
people. Yeah, me too. Me
And
too.
I would almost do the opposite. Like, I would stop the conversation and be like, I know you're busy, so I'm gonna let you
Make
be.
it quick,
And
yeah.
sometimes they're like, no, I'm just chilling, bro.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Then you know you have a little more time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, it's a back to the text, and I will close with this. I think texting nobody can pretend, oh, I haven't not seen your text. I think they have. They could be really busy and they don't have time to
but
get
however,
to it.
bro, this fucker.
Yeah,
Like, especially the last update of this fucker.
yeah,
WhatsApp notifications,
yeah. What happened to
they
it?
don't show up.
What do you mean?
Like, me, I handle, like, some live events.
Yeah,
And I get, like, demands from stuff.
yeah.
So many times I'm not receiving the notifications.
Really?
Yeah, I need to open WhatsApp to see that I have new
Sometimes it
messages.
happens to me too. It's been happening to me
Like,
lately. Yes, yes, yes.
man,
You're right.
This happened
You're
to
right.
me today, man. I missed 2 messages.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sometimes
And it
they are
has,
very time sensitive and it fucks you up.
Yeah, like no notification. And I'm next to it, you know. I'm really paying attention.
Yeah,
At some
yeah,
point,
yeah.
I'm like, nobody's contacting. Open two missed
And you're like,
messages.
fuck, yeah.
Fuck,
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think also I really put, for me, if I send you a text, it's like I'm talking to you, but you have the convenience to answer in a delayed time. But
Yes, but you
but
still
I'm
need,
still you still need to
still
answer
need
at some
that
point.
Decency.
If I say, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" and you don't answer at all,
Yeah.
or like so, like can
Worse than that, sometimes it's a conversation. We're going back and forth, and
Yeah.
we're having like a serious conversation. Yeah, and this and this and this. If something happens where you need to disappear for like 3
yeah,
hours,
you just say it.
say, "Hey, bro,
Listen,
let
I
me
gotta
into-
go to the supermarket
yeah.
really quick. I'll come back later. We'll finish this. Don't just disappear because it's almost like I'm
Like-
talking to you. You turn around and you leave. Like, what the fuck
No,
just
I
happened?
agree with that one.
I think text messages, and also I mostly prefer that people text me than call me because of the nature of my job.
Yeah.
I cannot answer, and also I feel like it's less aggressive, less invasive. Just text me, and then of course we can turn it into a conversation, live conversation on the phone, or maybe even meet up. But like, text me first.
Yeah.
Or sometimes people, they text me, they say, "Are you busy?" Just say what you have to say.
But text though annoy me for one thing is that some people either love to give some kind of twist to your words, like
Yeah,
you
well,
said it
yeah.
with this tone. This is why, like me texting, I like to keep it extremely like basic. Like, "Hey, I'm here. Can I call you? Come down. What was that thing again?" You know, like anything that's like more like I wouldn't catch up with someone by text.
I mean, you'd be surprised, but my thing, or maybe not, but my thing is audio. That's why I like audio. And I like it. I know you
hate
guys don't like it.
audio,
I'm just going to
man.
keep
Like,
doing
it's
it
the
because
worst
it's
thing.
actually fun.
But your audios are fine. Like what I hate about, especially in Morocco, man. Like the
When
guy
they get
sends you-
distracted and they send
No,
you the audio.
they have a conversation with you. They're like, "Hey, how are you? I'm fine. How are you? How's your parents? Oh, really? Oh," like there's no answer, bro. And, like you have 1 minute of okay, that's nice. That's nice.
That's
I
true.
wanted to ask you.
That's very true. I like
Yeah.
audios. They are fun. Usually, of course, all the audios that I listen to is 1.5 or at least, or maybe 2.
Okay, let me ask you this: would you
Yeah.
appreciate it more? For instance, like someone like me, sometimes I take time to answer or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Would you appreciate
I'd
it?
say.
But rarely. There's periods of time. But like, let's say, would you appreciate something that, like, if I answer you with a message like, "I'm busy, I don't have time to listen to your vocal note. I'll listen to it when I'll have the time." You would appreciate that.
No,
right?
you're right. I would prefer that you just do it, and when you have time, just answer. You don't need to tell me that you will
Yeah,
answer.
but if it takes 3 days to have the time.
Yeah, for me, it doesn't exist. It should. Like even Bill Gates answer his wife after whatever.
Yeah,
Or
but
Bill
are
Gates,
you
not
my
anymore.
wife?
But you know, like you cannot give the excuse, "I didn't have time." I think you had time. It's just priority wise, it was not on top of your list.
Yeah, but it's fine.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying you did not have time, or the excuse that I hate the most is, "Oh, I didn't see it." Yeah, right. Everybody has their phone like stuck in their hands all day. You don't say you didn't see
Yeah,
it.
but bro, I have to disagree on this one because sometimes, like, I don't know. I open my phone. Like, if you look at my emails, bro,
I'm not talking
Or-
about emails.
or like Instagram, I have stuff that I don't read. Like, at
I'm
some
not
point-
talking about
at some
Instagram
point,
because
well, I mean,
WhatsApp has a very special thing. WhatsApp is more like a direct connection.
like, I don't know. There's things I didn't read for like.
I know, but
I don't-
most likely they are not like like spams, whatever. But like for me, somebody would send me a text. Like of course, group messages.
I don't know.
I'm not a big fan of all the groups I'm in.
I would. I would.
And I feel like it would be rude to leave the group.
Mm. I would agree with you on most of the things, but when you get, there are times where you really don't have the time, and in that case, I kind of agree with the other side because, like, I'm trying, bruh.
Yeah, well,
But,
like,
like,
it's
sometimes
it's a work in progress, but I definitely feel like it's more appropriate to text somebody than just to call him, especially if you know that he has a very busy life, etc. Just send me a text. I'll find a minute. I'll send you another text, and you'll have your answer right away. I feel like phone calls are too much pressure, but maybe it's just social anxiety that's expressing itself this way.
No, because calls, even vocal notes, like, you need to be in certain setting to listen to them. Like you can't sneak in a little peek or like people around you or you need to have headphones.
Exactly. You know, for instance, next week I'm throwing a little family event, and I need to invite all my uncles and my aunts. I'm thinking group text, baby, but my father is like, nah, call them. I'm like, call every one of them? He said, yeah. I'm like, really? Like, text them maybe? He said, no. Voicemail? No, call them. All right, so this is gonna take me half a day to call all of them. We have a big family. Anyways, that's all the time we have for today. It was actually fun. We'll try to do
this format.
some more some different topics next time. Thank you for being here. It was another day in paradise. See you. Peace.